All right, so a lot of y'all have already seen the trailer for the God of War Ragnarok game coming soon, which is going to be an exclusive on PlayStation 5. And also a lot of you have seen the characters that are going to be a part of this game. Of course, we have Kratos. We also have Atreus, who is coming back to the game. Thor is going to be a part of the game. Fat Thor, similar to like there was in Endgame. And there's also a pretty little black girl in there too. I believe her name is pronounced Angrboda. Her name is pronounced Angrboda. Like I said, pretty little black girl in the video game. And racist ass people have... Okay, so I won't say people. There's just one racist ass who just decided to take the character in Photoshop and make her white and say, okay, it's fixed now. The person's name isn't even worth mentioning again. But they race bent her, made her white, saying that this is more accurate to Norse mythology. Motherfucker, Norse mythology? You realize that Atreus is portraying Loki, who is a Greek mythology character. And that's the inaccuracy you have a problem with? Not to mention, if you knew your game before God of War was even going to be released, the original Kratos was going to be black. But, they decided to not go with that. It's just funny how that's the inaccuracy that you have a problem with, that many of you had a problem with. Because it wasn't just one guy who decided to say, oh, well, this is not, no. A lot of you racist assholes jumped on board with this. And it just shows just how much divisiveness there is still in not only in this country, but in this nerd space. Whether it be cosplay, comics, or even video games. And I, for one, am just tired of it. I'm sick of it. So yeah, I'm going to call you out on your shit. Because it's not cool to race bend this beautiful girl. And by the way, she was probably made black because the person who won the role was black. So they probably made it accurate to the person playing the character, not to mythology, which, by the way, it's called mythology. Key root word being myth. This shit is not real. I'm so sick and tired of y'all racist ass, unseasoned. Okay, I'm cool. But just know that this is bullshit. It is. And needs to stop. Ladies and gentlemen, blurs and nerds, freaks and geeks, this is Do You Speak Geek, episode 95. What's going on, peeps? It's your boy Nix. Welcome to DYSG. This is the show where we give you all the latest and greatest going on in the geek realm. We got news and reviews for you. First of all, shout out to all the new listeners. If you guys have joined us for the first time, welcome to the ride. And if you're an avid listener, welcome back to Do You Speak Geek. Again, if this is the podcast you're listening to, you're probably listening on Spreaker. That's the home team. Shout out to Spreaker. Or any other major podcast outlets. DYSG, y'all, we are everywhere. So wherever you get your podcast, be sure to hit that subscribe button and follow along with DYSG. DoYouSpeakGeek.com, the central hub for everything DYSG. You can find the podcast there. Our YouTube videos, our social media, blogs, videos, photos. We got everything there. Hit up that website. Save it as a favorite, all right? Follow us on social media. Facebook at DYSGFB. Twitter at DYSG_tweets, and Instagram at Do You Speak Geek. The YouTube channel is the only place where you can find the Dono and Daddy Show. Please be sure to like, subscribe, smash that bell for all notifications, and leave your comments. We want to know what you guys think. All right, people, we're going to go ahead and hop into the show. Let's do what we do about this time. Let's speak geek.
Suit up.
I want to be the very best.
Talk nerdy to me.
Are you ready?
All right, people, we got reviews coming at you at rapid fire. Deathloop. Extraordinary game. Extraordinary. One of the most confidently designed games ever. Arcane Studios, hats off to you. This game was amazing. A world made of ideas with meaningful connections, time influence, space influence, tactics and influenced by loadouts. It just goes on. It just adds more layers of depth, and this game is masterfully skilled and just crafted. It's Deathloop. Please get it. Cry Machio, the latest Clint Eastwood film. It's about a man trying to find his boss's teenage son in Mexico. It's kind of underwhelming, but then it's Clint Eastwood. I mean, I don't know. It also felt a little unfinished, but you know, to each his own if you're a Clint Eastwood fan, right? TOEM, a short, satisfying little photography adventure packed with witty writing, some little goofy yet grounded characters, and a wealth of interesting, picturesque moments. Very simple, pleasing music and sounds. Check that out, absolutely. Blue Bayou, Justin Chon and Alicia Vankinder make an immigration loophole story feel urgent and devastatingly personal. So if you're looking for a very moving drama film, this is the one to go with. And finally we have Cop Shop, starring Gerard Butler. Can be violently irrelevant, but you know, it has some satisfying results. So if that's the kind of thing you're into, some sort of little violence there, that's the one you want to go with this week. Let's go ahead and hop into my favorite portion of the show. Y'all know the vibes. Source Wall. Enough said, Stan. Let's hop into the pull list. This week we have Eat the Rich, number 2. Is Joey willing to pay for her life to uncover the gruesome secrets behind Crestful Bluffs? Joey is beyond disturbed by what she has just witnessed, and she has every right to be. But when she confides in her boyfriend Aster, her reassurance about his family's weird rituals and traditions only fuels her suspicion. Joey will still need proof in order to expose the truth of Crestful Bluffs, but what she finds produces more questions and danger than answers. My wife is extremely into the series. You guys should be too. It's definitely one to check out. Please be sure to do that. Aquaman The Becoming, number 1. Jackson Hyde finally has it all. Mentors who support him, a community that loves him, an honest relationship with his mother, a cute new guy in Amnesty Bay who caught his eye, and access to Aquaman's private training facility in Atlantis. Well, he had it all until that training facility and half of the Atlantean palace got blown to Kingdom Come with Jackson inside. Now Jackson stands accused of wrecking the life he worked so hard to build. Aqualad's going to need all his skills, wit, and cunning just to prove his own innocence, let alone gratitude from sidekick to Aquaman. Yeah, the premise is pretty dope, so check that one out this week. Dark Blood 3. When is the curse worse than the disease? At first, Dr. Carlisle's generous offer to treat Avery's chronic pain and injuries seems like a godsend, but the magic bullet cure he offers comes with an excruciating administration via spinal tap and unexpected side effects. When those manifest in seemingly impossible ways that terrify his family, Avery rushes back to the doctor for additional help. But will the second treatment truly work or only bring back memories of the war best kept in Avery's past? Dark Blood's been a dope book. Get it while it's on the ground floor, people. This was a dope one. Hardware, Season 1, Number 2. With Dakota convinced that Curtis Metcalf is to blame for the Big Bang riot and the police hot on his trail, Curtis decides to change the game in a way that Edwin Alva won't see coming. He just needs to find a way to leave the country without getting caught. Milestone has not missed yet. Please check this one out. X-Men number 3. The X-Men are no strangers to being targeted for their genes. But when the High Evolutionary returns with his brand of unnatural selection, the survival of the whole planet is at stake. I mean, they got it. That's a squad they got this with this book. They no problem. They got it. The Death of Doctor Strange number 1. Dr. Stephen Strange is the world's greatest neurosurgeon and Earth's sorcerer supreme. He defends our planet from the supernatural and interdimensional threats no other hero is equipped to handle. But what would happen if he unexpectedly died? Who would protect Earth and keep the mystical evils at bay? And most importantly, who killed Stephen Strange? The final chapter in the life of Doctor Strange starts here, led by Jed McKay and Lee Garbett. This is going to be a good one. I cannot wait. King Spawn number 2, one of the most vile and horrific villains in the Spawn mythology, returns. Billy Kincaid, now simply called Kincaid, but his new campaign to murder is more than it seems. Like everyone else in Spawn's universe, battle lines have been drawn and all-out war is about to be unleashed. Y'all already know. I can't tell y'all much more. I mean, it's Spawn. It's Spawn. If you're not reading Spawn this year, you are losing. Please do yourself a favor and get this book. And finally, we have Second Chances number 2. After navigating the tragedy of the Ramos family, LeBlanc is now painfully behind schedule. Desperate for a solution, he is coerced into going on a date with his ex-lover and psychopathic hitwoman, Miss Nobody. Things will most definitely get weird. You got an ex named Miss Nobody. Yeah, I'm not gonna touch that one. I'm not gonna touch that. In Source Wall news, DC Comics announced 4 new series. Now, similar to how a couple of weeks ago Marvel announced several new books, we have DC doing the same here. The 4 new titles are long rumored and long awaited, but we have them coming at you right here now. Let's start with the first one, Batgirls number 1, a new ongoing series written by Becky Cloonan and Michael Conrad with art from George Corona. The Batgirls will follow Cassandra Cain and Stephanie Brown, who are only able to navigate the dark, gritty, and oftentimes scary Gotham City by leaning on each other's friendship. Mentored by Oracle, the Batgirls move to the other side of town where Barbara Gordon can keep a better eye on them while the hacker Seer is still invading their lives. Steph may be too rash sometimes, and Cass doesn't speak much, but what they lack in similarities they make up for with their mutual respect for love of each other, and what makes them stronger together as Batgirls. This rebellious group of superheroes team up to kick ass and try to make it as normal teenagers. Should be pretty good. World of Krypton number 1, from writer Robert Venditti and artist Michael Avon Omen. World of Krypton goes back to a time when a catastrophic event befalls Krypton's natural world. It points toward a mass extinction in the making. Jor-El, head of Krypton's Reverend Science Council, embarks on a mission to save a world that may already have passed the point of no return. The series is expected to feature famous characters from Krypton's past, including Jor-El, General Druzad, a young Kara Zor-El, and even a puppy Krypto. Aw, that'll be sweet to see. Swamp Thing Green Hell number 1. This one's gonna be fire, I already know. Jeff Lemire, say no more, and Doug Mankey. Swamp Thing Green Hell will bring a 3-part dark dystopian tale with DC's Black Label line. In Green Hell, the Earth is all but done. The last remnants of humanity cling to a mountaintop island lost in endless floodwater. The parliaments of the Green, the Red, and the Rot all agree. It's time to wipe the slate clean and start the life cycle over. And to do so, they've united their powers to summon one avatar of the most horrific monsters to ever stalk the surface of this forsaken planet. Against a creature like that, there can be no fighting back, unless you have a soldier who understands the enemy. Someone who has used its tactics before. Someone like Alec Hodlin. Shame he's been dead for decades. I told y'all, that was gonna be good. Can't wait. And last we have One Star Squadron from Mark Russell and Stephen LeBaire. One Star Squadron follows DC's superhero team where heroism meets capitalism. This ragtag group of heroes led by Red Tornado is here to provide service with a smile. All you have to do is send a request via their on-demand hero app and they'll answer any call. Whether it's a children's birthday party or an alien invasion, no job is too small or too big in this story about the superheroes without a billion-dollar fortune or fortress of solitude to fall back on. Ooh, shots fired. Heroes like Red Tornado, Power Girl, Gangbuster, and Minuteman. Follow these working stiffs as they work for a living trying to parse one of the great mysteries of this world. Just who signed those checks and why? Should be pretty good. That's your Source Wall news, people. All those comics we just mentioned there, please be sure to pick those up this week at your local comic book store. Let's watch this.
Watch this, y'all.
Lannister always pays his debts.
Whoa, dude.
I am the villain of the story.
All right, folks, the Hawkeye trailer was released. Bright and early on Monday morning, the House of Ideas unveiled the first trailer for Hawkeye, finally introducing to the masses Haley Steinfeld's beloved Kate Bishop. As you might expect, the first teaser for the series featured both Bishop and Clint Barton and Jeremy Renner heavily. Written in a Room by Mad Men alums Jonathan Eliga, is also Marvel Studios' first Disney Plus show to have more than one director. While WandaVision, The Falcon and Winter Soldier, Loki, and What If have all been helmed by one filmmaker, Hawkeye's directorial duties were split by Bert and Bertie and Reyes Thomas. As with all Marvel Studios live-action shows, Hawkeye is being treated like it's a film from the studio. Both Barton and Steinfeld are street-level characters. The series will receive a production budget and treatment similar to a blockbuster flick in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. If y'all have not seen this trailer, please check it out. It is amazing, coming this Christmas time, and I can't wait to see it. I definitely am a big fan of Hawkeye. I'm definitely a bigger fan of Kate Bishop. I think Haley Steinfeld's going to do her thing, and hopefully you all enjoy as much as I do. Now, blast from the past, I'm an 80s baby, so I'm definitely hyped for this one. She-Ra is getting a live action project from Amazon. Now, after taking over Netflix and She-Ra and the Princess of Power, the heroine is coming back to life in a live action series. Amazon is heading up the project, according to Variety. It's in the very early stages right now, and no writers are currently attached. DreamWorks Animation will serve as an executive producer after recently producing the Netflix animated series She-Ra and the Princess of Power. However, the live action version will be a new standalone story and not connected to the animated show. Should the project go to series, it'd be the first live action adaptation of the She-Ra character. Can't wait to see that. I have a few ideas of who I'd love to see cast. I ain't gonna lie, I would actually be okay with like some maybe WWE superstars being She-Ra, maybe Charlotte Flair. I think that would be pretty dope. What do you guys think? Who should be She-Ra? Netflix's Tomb Raider cast Haley Atwell as Lara Croft. Now, this update comes from Netflix itself, as the site confirmed the British actress will be voicing Lara Croft. Nothing else was said about the series in particular, but Tomb Raider is a big franchise with lots of lore. According to Netflix, this anime will be set in the events after Tomb Raider's reboot under Square Enix. The series will put Lara on a new hunt, and fans will be thrilled to know that Atwell will be joining along. If she's voicing Lara Croft, that's going to be dope. I can't wait to hear it. And if it's going to be shot anime style, ooh, that's going to be fire. Yes, give us all the anime. Yes. And finally, The Lost Boys is recasting, and we have stars from It and A Quiet Place in lead roles. Warner Bros. Is setting up to remake the 1987 cult classic with two of its youngest stars of horror, Noah Jupe, one of the stars of A Quiet Place, and It lead Jaden Martell, who we mentioned just last week from Rick and Morty, have been cast in an upcoming movie per The Hollywood Reporter. Warner has already filmed a creative team for the project. The End of the Effing World director John Eltwile will direct, while Randy McKinnon will pen the reimagining script. McKinnon is a rising star in Hollywood and was previously tapped by Warner Brothers in DC to write the upcoming HBO Max original adaptation of Static Shock. This should be dope. I can't wait to see what they're going to do with this. Hopefully they keep some of the same themes and the same undertones that were in the original Lost Boys. If you're a fan of the 80s film, you definitely will love this one. I got a good idea that they're going to do a great job with this one. What do you guys think? Let's hop into Thumb Life.
Peace, love, and video games!
That sound like Donkey Kong.
That man is playing Galaga.
Alright gamers, Razer now has gaming finger sleeves. Yeah, that's a thing. So Razer, the company, has a new unique accessory for mobile gaming that's essentially a glove, though it's not a glove that you'd be expecting. It's a finger sleeve. It was announced this week by Razer, with sleeves now available to the company's website. They go for $10, which presumably get you a pair and not just one, though they're out of stock at the moment, seeing as how they were apparently pretty popular within the last couple of days. They're made of nylon, spandex, and silver fiber fabric to ensure they're comfortable with whatever type of touchscreen or mobile device you'll be playing on. So if you're a big mobile gamer, this is definitely one of those things you want to get your hands on. And, you know, if you're like me, people who love to play Contest of Champions, maybe even Angry Birds, who knows, whatever your game is of choice on mobile, this is something that you want to get your hands on. Absolutely. Destroy All Humans 2 remake officially announced. This new version of Destroy All Humans was revealed by THQ Nordic as part of a presentation that the publishing label will celebrate their 10th anniversary. The official title of the game happens to be Destroy All Humans 2 Reprobed, and it looks perfectly to recreate the original installment that was first released back in 2006. In addition to that project, THQ Nordic has also given us a glimpse of how the new version of the game will look. While cutscenes and many cutscenes are present to this trailer and featuring the series protagonist Crypto, the video also highlighted much of the gameplay that players will be able to take part of as well. So if you're a fan of that series, the reboot is coming, or the reprobe is coming. That doesn't make me feel uncomfortable at all. Okay, well, let's speak technical for a moment.
Technically speaking,
Your technological advancements 1.21 gigawatts.
Have you tried turning it off and on again?
Okay, folks, technically speaking, Apple had a event, California streaming, and let's just go ahead and jump into everything he talked about, people. Here we go. Apple surprised us by kicking off its California streaming event with a new iPad powered by the new A13 Bionic processor. According to Apple, this new chip will deliver 20% better performance, making it 3 times faster than the Chromebook and 6 times faster than the best-selling Android tablet. I mean, isn't everything better than a Chromebook and an Android tablet? That's not saying anything. Additionally, these new iPads come with a 12 megapixel, 122 degree ultra wide angle selfie camera, so users can take advantage of iPad's new iOS 15's new center stage feature that makes video calls more dynamic by following you as you move around the room. The iPad 9th generation available for order. It's available for order today, and it will ship this week. 64 gig models start at $329, so you get double the storage of the last generation. iPad also announced the new 6th gen iPad mini that's basically the latest iPad Air shrunken down to an 11-inch tablet to an 8.3-inch device. It comes with a rocking A15 Bionic processor that promises 40% faster CPU performance and 80% better graphic performance. Apple's newest and smallest tablet also features a new 12 megapixel camera on the front and back. The front-facing one, of course, powers center stage dynamic for FaceTime calls. This new 6th generation will be starting at $499. The new Apple Series 7 features slimmer 1.7 millimeter bezels and a rounded screen that make the transitions between display and casting seem more seamless. What's more, the always-on display is 70% brighter. It can even fit a full-on QWERTY keyboard so users can type messages from their wrist. The Apple Series will start at $399 and will be available later this fall. Okay, here's what we've all been waiting for. The new iPhone 13. 20% smaller notch, that means you get experience more of the iPhone 13 big and beautiful 1200 nit Super Retina XDR display. It features a A15 Bionic processor with a 6-core CPU with 2 high-performance and 4 high-efficiency cores and 4-core GPU. Apple claims its newest chip delivers 50% faster CPU and 30% faster GPU performance than its Android competition. The iPhone 13 also brings plenty of camera improvements. First up, the main 12 megapixel will feature the large 1.0 sensor, and that captures 50% more light dramatically, better dynamic range, and better low light photography. The main camera also now supports optical image stabilization. The ultra wide camera is meanwhile, it's like 2.4 aperture. That sounds pretty dope. Last year's models, they only had a 1.6 inch iPhone, but now this one has a 5.4, I believe. The iPhone mini was a 5.4, sorry. Lastly, the iPhone offers more battery life. Expect 90 minutes more runtime on 13 in the mini. Regular iPhone 13 should last 2.5 hours than the iPhone 12. And the 6.1 iPhone 13 starts at $829, and the smaller one starts at $729. Those are now available for pre-order and will ship this week. And the last thing we have is the iPhone 13 and the 13 Pro Max. 120 Hz displays, The phone is huge. Just put it that way. Stay at 10 hertz if you swipe quickly to jump to 120 hertz. The Pro has a 1000 nit brightness and also get the same 20% smaller notch as the non-Pro iPhone 13. Featuring the same A15 processor, and it has the increased maximum storage up to 1 terabyte. Cameras, of course, they have the first ever 3x optical zoom for a 77mm telephoto equivalent lens. Nighttime photographers will also love the 92% low light improvement on the ultra wide and 2.2x2 low light improvement on the wide angle camera. New macro photography mode will also allow users to shoot up close as 2 centimeters with the ultra wide camera. Lastly, the Smart HDR4 adds the ability to change photographic profiles for different looks. It's looking at about $999 for the Pro, and the Pro Max we're looking at about $1,100. Yeah, so get ready for those prices to hit your pockets. Yeah. All in all, good showcase from Apple. I am going to make the transition back to iPhone myself. Yes, I know it's going to happen, but hey, it makes my life as content creator easier and better for you guys. So that is the pod, people. I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here. Thank you all for listening. Please be sure to follow the podcast, subscribe to this podcast, let your boy know what you think about this podcast. Visit the website doyouspeakgeek.com. Follow us on social media, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Check out our YouTube channel, like and subscribe to the videos there. As always, people, live to play to win to live. I speak geek. Do you speak geek?